We're the state arts agency. Every state has one and every territory has one. So there are 56 of them across the country. All the state arts agencies were created in response to the creation of the National Endowment for the Arts. And the reason they were created is because the NEA requires a state arts agency to receive any funds that the federal government gives to the arts. Here in Kansas, we are a small but mighty organization. We work to support, promote, and expand access to the arts across the entire state.
Perfect.
We do that. In a number of different ways. We have some initiatives going on right now. One that I'm particularly fond of is the Artist Inc. initiative, which is a collaboration with the Mid-America Arts Association. They are the regional arts organization, and that gives professional development training to professional artists to help them make a living from their art. I'm the director of the agency, which means I'm responsible for everything. So I work with our commission. We have a governing commission, which serves sort of like a board, would for a nonprofit. And we have a small staff. We've got 2 full-time employees and then a number of contractors spread across the state. So I manage all of those individuals. And also I'm working with the staff right now to shore up our strategic plan, which we're hoping to launch at the beginning of the year. And I'm responsible for making sure that all these programs run the way they need to run to help the people of Kansas. A symposium meeting coming up in Salina, Kansas. We are doing that as a collaboration with the local arts agency there. And it's a symposium for local arts councils from around the state to come together and do some professional development and some networking and to get together with that. I'm really excited about that because it's going to be a way for me to introduce myself and learn what's going on all across the state, because people from across the state are going to be there. I was contacted by the agency. And honestly, when I first, they said, you know, are you interested in looking at this? And if not, do you know anybody? And at first I said, I just wasn't interested. I was looking to stay in Florida, or I thought, I thought to myself, I'm going to move to a big, exciting city. That's what I want to do when I move. But then after thinking about it and remembering how rural Kansas is, I'm from rural Tennessee. So the expansion of the arts and the promotion of the arts in rural areas is really important to me. And so I got back in touch and I heard from them quite a lot. They kept me really abreast with the process. They let me know exactly what they needed from me and what was going on at all times. It was a surprisingly good process. I was completely supported, and I knew when I did have questions, they were answered honestly and completely. I never felt like anything was being held from me, which is really great. I had talked to a couple of other search firms when I was applying for a couple of other jobs, and the difference in the amount of support I got with you guys was far and above. One of the things I felt was really worthwhile was I always knew I had an idea where I was in the process, but there were times with the other groups, I thought, I don't feel like I'm moving forward here. And then 3 weeks later, I'd find out that I had moved forward and would be completely shocked. So at least with you guys, I feel like I was always kept abreast and I was never left out just at sea like I was with some other firms. I can tell you what I really think is important. And it is what guided me to Kansas. And I think that it is when you are working in nonprofits and in social good, and you're working for organizations whose primary focus is not shareholder response, I think it's really, really important to hold yourself to making sure that the places you're interested in working for are ones whose missions align with yours.
Definitely.
Um, I know that it could be very easy sometimes to think, well, this is close to my mission, or this organization does a whole lot of good. I'm not passionate about that work myself, but I recognize how good they are. I think you've got to wait and hold out for the ones that you know that get you out of bed in the morning, the things that really light your fire. Because we don't work in nonprofits to get rich, right?
Right.
We do it because we think it needs to be done, and because we think we're good at it. So I would say hold out for the job that really gets you going.